what is the preparation like for an open call like that? Because again, like you in that moment have to realize you're going up against literally everybody, right? That looks somewhat like you or has the same abilities, like fits whatever qualifications that they're looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how do you prepare for something like that? Do you take it seriously?
Oh,
Because it's almost like the odds are stacked against you.
right. Do I take it seriously? That's such an interesting way to put it because I think yes and no. I feel like I'm just throwing a dart into the void,
Literally.
almost. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to take it too seriously because then I might just, put too much pressure on myself. And also because my actual age is very, I graduated high school 10 plus years ago. So I was like, it's a high school character, long shot, whatever, I'll do it. I think I just threw the dart into the void, not knowing it'll stick somewhere, but it did. So yes and no to that question, I think.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because
Yeah.
it is interesting. Like we're close in age. You're 30, right?
I'm 32.
Yeah, I'm about to be 32. I'm 31.
Really?
Yes.
When's your birthday?
May 2nd.
Wait, are you a Taurus?
I am a Taurus.
I love Tauruses. My mother's a Taurus.
Aw, good company for me. What is your sign?
Scorpio.
We are very compatible.
We are.
We literally, like, what you don't have, I have.
Yeah,
And
because
what
we're
I
on
have,
the
you have.
opposites of the zodiac wheel.
Yes.
Yes.
And highly compatible.
It was a
Yes.
match made in heaven right here.
Yep.
I had a really deep crush for a long time on a Scorpio. They ended up ruining me. They took so much from me. It's hard. They're hard ones to love. It's true.
When you're younger, yeah, I guess. I don't.
Anyway,
Okay.
back to playing a high school student because that is interesting, right? Like that's
Yeah.
how do you mentally enter into the life and struggle of somebody navigating a boarding school? I mean, you know that. You could pull from your own experience because you went to boarding school.
Well, it wasn't a boarding school. It was an international school, which is the same as the
Got it.
EXO
KISS.
Kitty. Yeah. I guess I was trying to get into the mindset of like what was important to me in high school. And in high school, what was like the top three things would be family, friends, school, right? And then love. I like my crushes, all of that thing, like the kind of innocence innocent young love that comes with it. And I do remember having a very innocent, naive crush in high school that just ended up breaking my heart into a million pieces. But stuff like very tangible, visceral moments like that, I try to remember back to the kind of levity that I had at that age and how impressionable I was at that age as well. So I was trying to bring literally every memory that I could remember to get into this role, I think. In this specific instance, it was a bit of my own homework plus exercises that I had done with my teachers. Like literally when I was in quarantine in preparation for this role, I got on a Zoom call and I did like some embodiment exercises with my teacher, who's like a movement teacher of mine. And we would do stuff like how does she walk when she's alone versus out in the world? What's her, what does she say to herself in her room versus like when she's with other people, like trying to embody her a little bit more. So it was a bit of both things happening.
Is there any part of Yuri's character that you've ended up absorbing yourself?
I hope that her characteristic of being able to be more comfortable in her own skin and taking up space, being okay taking up space, is a quality that I've always loved about and admired about her that I thought that I lacked in myself. So I think so, even though I can't really say yes, like I have these qualities now, but I'm sure that they have because like you'd mentioned earlier, I do believe that the role found me for a reason at the time that it did.
Do you feel like this role has changed you at all?
I don't know. Yes and no. I think yes because it was part of a show that did so well that it came with a lot of the following that it did, the fans and the viewership that it got.
The first spinoff to
Yes.
All the Boys.
Yes, which already had a huge fan base as well. So it's made me... It's what catapulted me into more of the public eye as an actor, right? Because previous to that, I was doing more theater work and school and little short videos and things. So It's changed me in a way that I think I just had to learn to navigate new roles, new ways of being seen in the world. I think navigating in a different way. But then again, I guess I'm the same in like at the core of who I am. I don't know.
Anything you learned from doing this show that you apply to your career moving forward? I mean, a bunch.
Yeah, so much. This was really like a boot camp for me in terms of industry, being on set, I think. Because, prior to this, I hadn't been on a big set like this. And then because I was in quarantine, I had all of my scenes like pushed up in the last 3 days of the block. So instead of it being spread out over 2 weeks as it was supposed to be, it was like all 3 days. It was just all of my scenes, like back to back to back. So it really just felt like 3 days of boot camp of this is what it's like to be on set on a Netflix show and working with which was great because, everyone knows what they're doing. They're all at the top of their game. I just need to focus on my own job.
But it's pressure, though.
Yes, of course.
And they're stressed with that.
Yes, and also, like you said, it's so different from theater where I didn't know how to approach it at first. I was like, because with theater, I have to memorize the whole script until some deadline, and then we get it up on its feet and rehearse it over and over until we have it put on show, right? Whereas with TV, you don't memorize it from episode 1 to 10. And I was like, am I supposed to memorize like all of this? Like, I don't know how to go about it. And then I was talking to my co-stars like Anna, who had been on like TV for a very long time. She was like, no, just like do it as you go. You'll find your rhythm. So I took advice from people who'd been doing on-camera acting for a while. And it was a bit nerve-wracking because I felt like I needed to have everything memorized before for a long time and rehearse it till like beat it. But then I think I did find my rhythm. I realized there is such a thing as over-rehearsing a scene. And then also, yeah, I found my rhythm as I did it, I think.